Okay, so let's look at 8.2. 8.2, the formula is a bit harder, right? Not harder, but it just more complicated, okay? So 8.2, the first one you look is compounded continuously. How do you know? They will tell you in the problem. It say continuously. And the formula you're going to use for this one is P E R to the T. E is just a constant. This is for some of you if you want on remote or you in quarantine, you miss this one. E is the constant. It's like pi. You know, pi is 3.14. E is like 1.26 something. It's just a constant, but it's such a long number, we're not going to write it out. P stay the same as the principal. R is still the rate. T is still the time. So that is the one that you're going to use for if we say compounded continuously. We'll read the question and we'll tell you directly what that is. Then if the question was tell you, I will tell you the objective. I will say this is what you need to do. It say K time per year, then you're going to use this formula right here. P1 plus R over N and T. Every letters we saw them, A is the amount, total amount, okay? The only new thing is N, which is the numbers of times that you compounded per year. Okay, so that's the formula you're going to use. So that's N is the new one. That's N, right? It's how many, you will see that in the problem, they will tell you. Then another objective I want you to do is find the interest rate, which is solve for R. So here's a formula that you're going to use. Do not ignore the parenthesis. Do not ignore me when I go over the comment. I will add the comment and say, hey, I saw that mistake. Fix it so you know what to do. All right, then the last one is the principal, which is original or the initial balance. That's a P. You're going to use this 1 plus R over N and T. Okay, here's something that you want to remind yourself is A is the total amount. A is always bigger than P. They both in dollars, but A is the total amount. The total amount is going to be bigger than just the principal, how much you take a loan at the beginning. Okay, so A is the bigger value. So I'll give you a moment to jot down any other things that you needed it. Or take a picture, but like I said, I will upload this document into Schoology for you. So you should have it. You don't have to copy it down, but more like recognize which one to use. Or you can take a picture.
Sorry for joining late. My internet was having some problems.
Not a problem. I have a lot of students run into that problems today, so that's fine. Thank you, Fahad. Appreciate that. So the link Fahad just shared in the chat for those that just joined, can you click on the link? We'll use Padact in a moment. Okay. All right, one more thing I forgot for 8.1 is that since interest and principal has the same dollar sign, so P is bigger than I. The principal is bigger than the interest. The values will be different. When we do practice, this makes more sense later. So this document will be shared with you, okay? If then for you, it's a matter of like, what I would do is, do you need to add anything to it? It's up to you, or you think this is good enough, then we'll go from there. All right, so let's do Padact. I haven't joined yet. I need the code. PSICNR. Okay, so we're gonna start. Let's start with simple interest. Let's look over here. Okay, simple interest. So we know 8.1 is simple interest. If you look in here, right, how we know it's a interest. It's set interest. So this is something that I would do if I had my notes. I would go back and say, okay, look at my notes. It's a interest, which is right here. Say symbol interest. So that's the formula I'm going to use, right? So I have IPRT. Now it's just a matter of me go back and identify which one is what. Jose deposit $1,500. That's the principal, that's the money of his tax refund into an account that earns simple annual interest. How much interest will be his account after 6 years? That's T. As an annual interest rate of 4%, so that's the R, 0.4. Don't forget to turn the decimal into, not decimal, percent into decimal for rate. Now it's just a matter of you plug it in. P is 1,500. So the rate would be 0.04. The T is 6. Type it in, put in your calculator. Let's see what you got. Please do it along with me. If you have that calculator, I think the best you can use decimal. If you don't have a calculator, use that page. Follow along. That way you was like, okay, I got it. Or no, Miss Wynn, I don't have the same number as yours. What did I do wrong? Can you help me? So this is $300, $360 as interest. For 6 years. So this is simple interest. Identify P, R, and T, plug it in. Questions? Okay, let's move on. I know some of you still take notes on this one, so I'll wait a little bit. Keep in mind, I'm recording this, so you should be able to watch the video. I will turn this in student pace. You can go back. You can move back and forth between slides. You can watch the video and record notes later, if that's the case. It was like, Miss Wynn, I did not have a chance to finish everything. That is fine. You can do that later. Also, if you typed it in, it will be a bit faster than write for this one. Okay, almost finished. I have one of you still writing, so I'll wait a little bit. Okay. All right, this is also, so for this is lesson 8.1. I will tell you this 8.1. Here, if you look at the question, it will talk about interest rate. So interest rate, right? Here's the question was asking for interest rate. The question you're going to say to yourself is, okay, it's interest rate. Which formula I'm going to use? So here is 8.1. Interest rate is this one, right? So you have it right in front of you is R equal I over PT. So I know that's the one that I'm going to use. R equal I over PT. So that's how I will use that in notes for tomorrow, all right? So let's highlight a couple of things. I have that, I have 5 years, I have another one. But in here, you look in here, you have two with dollar sign. And like I said, the P is the bigger values compared to I. So the 5,000 is bigger than the 797. So this is the principal. That is the I, and this is the T. Plug it in. 797.50 over 5, 800 times 5. I will type this in. If you have a calculator, you can do a fraction, so you don't have to do a whole lot of parentheses. If you don't have that option, make sure you have this parenthesis in green. because otherwise you have a different answer than what I have, okay? 0.5 over 5800 times 5, 0.0275. If you convert this to percent, it's 0.275%. How you get to percent, you multiply by 100. So this is how you find the interest rate. The question will be clearly stated what you need to solve for. You just have to figure out which formula is best for you to use. Then how to use that calculator or how to type it in decimal. So those are the skills. Question for me. Just copy, I'll wait. Alrighty then. Another problem, we need to figure out which one. So this one is say Lisa borrows $2,850 at 4.3% simple interest per year. When Lisa pays the loan back 9 years later, what is the total amount? So here's the key word, total amount, right? Total amount, let's go back to our sheet. Total amount is this one, which is A equal P plus P times R times T. So I know that's the formula that I'm going to use. So here it is, A equal P plus P R T. All right. So P is the principal, which is that 2,850. Then the 4.3, that is the rate. But don't forget, you need to switch it back to decimal. It's 9 years later, so that's your T. So plug it in. There are 2P. That is mean you're going to use the number 2,850 twice. So 2,850 plus 2,850 times 0.043 times 9. So that's what I have. Let me type it in to see what I get. All right, so I have 3952.95. That's my answer. Is that what you have? Or you need to let me know if you got something else. So I'll pause. Okay, again, when this problem, you're going to have to read the question will say, what was her initial deposit or principal? So initial deposit, or another name would be principal. So we know that we have to solve for P. Okay. So if you go back to your note, P, the principal is I over R times T. All right. So let's plug it in. Again, I have the principal. So I'm just going to label what I know. This is I. This is the rate, which is 0.063. This is the T. So 5922 over 0.063 times 20. Plug it in. So I will have, let's see what we have. 5922 over 0.063 times 20. I have 4,700. So that's mean, what this means is you borrow, I'm sorry, not borrow. You deposit $4,700. After 20 years, you get $5,922 back. Okay, so it's asking for initial deposit. Okay, so go ahead and take notes, copy it down. Let me know if you have any questions. So for this one, I'm not group them in different, I just like go in different order. We just have to figure out which one that we're gonna use. So take a moment to jot it down. So one more, and then we'll move on to 8.2 unless you want me to do more example. But another one is this one asking how long. How long means the time, right? That's mean we need to figure out the time. So that would be T. You can go back to the sheet and say, okay, T means I over PR. Well, let's identify. Keep in mind P is bigger than I, so that's P and that's I. The rate, I need to change to decimal place, so it should be R is 0.035. So let's plug it in. 325 over 2,500 times 0.035. Put in your calculator. 325, 2,500, 0.035, 3.71 years. So that's how long it took to earn $325 as interest. Interest is, we have a couple objectives. The first one is continuously. It will tell you right there, continuously. All right, where's my pen? So the keyword is continuously right here. All right, so continuously, we need to go back to our notes and look in here. Continuously is this formula, P times E R to the T. So you're gonna have to read the objective carefully to say, this is the formula that I needed for this problem. Then go back and do it. So for this one, we have P equal to PERT, right? Again, E is just a constant, P is a principal. So this person invests $2,011 in a saving account with a fixed annual interest rate of 6%, compounded continuously. What will be the account balance after 7 years? Okay, so we know this is a P. The rate is 6%, so I'm converted to 0.06. This is T. So plug it in. P equal to 20111 times E to the power of 0.06 times 7. Put in your calculator or decimal and do this along with me so that you know that, okay, I know how to type this in. I know how I no, I don't. So I would do this and see what we get, 0.06 times 7. Okay, so I have 3060.66. Okay, so for that one, again, P, you recognize P is 3083. The rate, don't forget to change to decimal. The T is in years, so I don't have to do anything. P times E, this is the power. E to the power of 0.02 times 4. So that's my answer for number 2. We can do another one, number 7. Again, Amanda invests $6,859. I know that's the principal in a retirement account with a fixed annual interest rate of 8%. So that's my R. Don't forget to switch this to decimal. Compound is 6 times per year, so that will be N. What will be the account balance after 16 years? So that's the T, right? So A equal to, I know P is 6,859, 1 plus the rate, 0.08 over 6, to the power of to the power of 6 times 16. Okay, practice, type this in your calculator or use your Chromebook and type in decimal and see what you have. And we're gonna check in. 1 plus 0.08 over 6. 6 times 16. 24461.57 cents. Okay, I'm going to ask you to try the next problem on your own, just so that that you know that you okay or you have question, because sometimes I say questions, you're like, it's look easy when you do it, but on your own, let's see what happened. So let's do number 8. Let's do number 8. Okay. This, again, this was asking for the account balance for K time, so we know this one would be okay, number 8. Let's do number 8. Go ahead and try. I will give you the answer right away, and then you can check into like, okay, I got it, or no, I don't. Okay. That's what I have for number 8. So go ahead and try, see what you do. Okay, let's see. All right, it looks good. Okay. I know some of you already kind of on number 9 as well, so why don't I give you the answer for number 9, so that way 37375. So that way if you are number 9, you can check in and see how you do. Okay. I think we're okay. It seems that you set it up, you recognize the numbers. It is okay. Like I said, I will turn this in student pace. I'll give you another minute just to finalize number 8, because I know some of you still cannot write and show your work. Some of you just give me an answer, which I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I gave you the answer. So if you like, okay, I got the same thing, that's fine. But don't just write out the answer if you don't know what to do. Like, at least show your work so I know where you are. But if you got it, I know some of you just typed it in and you have the answer right away, which is fine. Totally fine. Okay, let's see. I think we mostly done. A bunch of you did not respond. Well, if you that's the choice that you are making, right? You're not reviewed for the test, then I honestly don't know what to do. Okay, you make that choice. Hopefully, you do well tomorrow. If not, hopefully that is not hurting your grade. Okay, any question for this objective? Thank you for those who've done the work. It's help for me to see the work and know where you are. All right, moving on to the next objective is find the rate, right? So this one is say find interest rate. So that means you need to find R. For R, like I said, if you go back to your notes, it should be this formula, which is N A over P 1 over N times T minus 1. So this one is a bit more complicated than the rest, right? Because there's so many parentheses. And like I said, A is a bigger values compared to P. So in here, say Daniel invests in 4,181 in the retirement account with a fixed annual interest rate compounded 2 times per year. After 13 years, the balance reaches $6,996.56. What is the interest rate? So in the question, it said interest rate. That means you need to figure out the R. So let's identify which one is which. Between the dollars, A is a bigger value, so this one should be A. 4,181 should be the P. N is 2 times per year, and T is 13 years. Plug it in. N is 2. A is 6,996.66 over 4,181 to the power of 1 over 2 times 13 is to the power minus 1 down here. So this one is harder for you to type in your calculator, but make sure that you practice. Let's see what you got. I will do that too. So 2 do this along with me so that way you know if you got it right or you don't. 6,996.66 over 4,181 to the power of 1 over 2 times 13 minus 1 at 0.04. That is mean is 4%. This last objective is the same idea. If we moved here to find the principal or the initial balance, right? This is when you have to find for P. Bear with me, just P, right? So it's going to be A over 1 plus R over N minus N times T. So this one was asking for the initial investment. So you solve for P. So in here you have A, which is the money. Then you have N as how many times you compound it per year. Then T is 14 years and the rate is 4%, which is 0.04. Okay, then what you can do, give me 1 second, I'll show how to calculate right after the class. Let me finish this objective and I'll show you how to type in decimal. Okay, so when I do this for the principal, A, 10,929.77 over 1 plus R is 0.04 over N, which we know that's 12, times N times T, which is N is 12, T is 14 years. So that's how I would type it in. Now, I'm going to ask you to use decimal for this one. I'm going to take a picture of this because I'm going to move to this different screen, and I'm probably not going to remember all of this. So, okay. So let's look at decimal. I'm going to type it in, right? So I'm going to start with, if you type into the website, so go to decimal and go to graphing calculator. I think that's the best option for us to do. So types it in, 10, 9 to 9.77. To make that fraction, you just hit divide. Then down here, you type in exactly what you see as parenthesis 1 plus, whoops, sorry, that's not what I want, plus Now 0.04 divide, if you hit on divide, that will give you that fraction 12. Bear with me, okay? And now you can use the arrow and then you can close that parenthesis to the power of. If you look in where it say a to the b, you hit that one and that will give you the power. Or you do the caret and that will work too. That would be 12 times 14. And now that is the amount that I'm going to get, $6,249. Okay? So that's how I use Desmo. Now, this is the review. I will turn this in student pace. I'll share the videos for you that you can watch if you are ready. Have a good day.